So the next thing that I did, after I realized Anita was not going to change, and nor was she going to want to stay with me in any type of relationship, was I decided to get help for myself. I went through what is known as deliverance or exorcism. I drove 2 hours, 3 hours to another city, and for 6 hours they cast demons out of me and went through all the spiritual end of healing, basically. That was interesting. And I had to go through basically forgiving Anita for what she did and letting go of all the pain and hatred and anger and revenge that I felt towards her. Or I guess you say vengeance. Then from there, after I went through that big long deliverance session, I went to a doctor. I don't remember if I went to a physical doctor or just the mental health specialist. But I do know I went to the mental health specialist and I told them, something is wrong with me. I want a diagnosis. And through reading and research, I realized it was a psychiatrist I needed to talk to, not a psychologist, not a therapist. Because what was happening was, when I would go in and tell people, this person abused me online, this person abused me in person, emotionally, psychologically, they would send me automatically to get an evaluation, and then they'd put me right with the psychologist. Well, psychologist is not going to give you a diagnosis. All they do is work on your issues with you very generically these days. They don't like labeling anything, a lot of them. So I wanted labels. I wanted to be labeled. Because if I could have a label, then I would know this is the problem and this is what I need to do to get free from it. So I went to a psychiatrist and she said, so what you're telling me is you want to be labeled. You want me to tell you this is your diagnosis. I said, exactly. Because the last time I came in here, I was told, well, just stay off the internet. Just stay away from controlling people. And that did not help me because I ended up right back with another one. And I didn't know why I kept ending up back with them. Well, my final diagnosis was cyclothymic mood disorder, ADHD, or ADD, I guess. And that was pretty much it. And then she told me that I had problems with codependency, which I kind of already knew. So my next step was I got into a CODA meeting, which is Codependence Anonymous. And within the probably second or third time, I was pretty much leading the meeting. So I realized that, yes, I was helping other people by leading the meeting, but I was kind of there hoping to find answers for myself, and yet I ended up being the one running the show. So that wasn't what I had in mind. So I left that. It was around that time that I opened up a chat room against the narcissist. Told everybody what had happened to me, what they had done to me, what her family did to me, what they put me through, how they love bombed me basically, and then mistreated me the rest of the time. Not her mother, just her. Her mother, I'm not sure her mother knew what was going on. I'm sure her mother realized that Anita tended to not keep friends very long, and she was probably hopeful that I would be one that stuck around. But she probably also didn't know how Anita mistreated people. So, I don't know. Anyways, so I opened up this chat room. Anita's husband called me and said, I just have one question for you. Did God tell you to open this room? And honestly, I didn't feel that God told me to open the room. I just opened it because I was trying to vent and be empowered and take my power back from Anita. So I told him I didn't know, and he said, well, you need to make sure of this, and you shouldn't be turning against my wife like this. She was there for you, and nobody's ever treated her like this, and kind of guilt tripping me. Well, then after I got off the phone with him, Anita herself called me and asked me the same question. And of course she did it in her cute little voice. Girlie, did God tell you to open the room? That's all I'm wondering. And if he didn't tell you to, if Father didn't tell you to open the room, then maybe you should reconsider and pray about it. That's all I'm asking, just pray about it. Well, that was sufficient enough fuel for me to think about, and I closed down the room. Much to the people in the room's disappointment. And a lot of them wrote me privately and said, "Oh man, why'd you shut that room down? We need exactly that on this forum." Well, I didn't open the room again. I tried a couple times, like years later, and it just didn't fly. So that's when I started making videos. And stay tuned, I'll tell you more about that. Thanks for watching.